Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining today, and welcome to Industry Insight with the UWS Careers team and Enable Scotland today. I'm delighted to have a recruitment consultant from Enable Scotland. Lynn Campbell is a guest speaker today, and we are looking forward to hearing more about Enable Scotland and the jobs they have, and also the part-time jobs available just now across Scotland. And hopefully we can help you to prepare for these jobs and for the future opportunities as well. So just before we start, a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions, you can use the chat box, or you can wait until the end of the presentation and then unmute and speak, because this is a smaller group today. So we will record the presentation. So as I mentioned before, if you don't want your face or video on YouTube or anywhere to appear, you can only use the audio bit and turn off your video. Okay, and so I'll introduce myself, I guess. So I'm Ulna Ramsey, one of the careers advisors and also employer liaison and project officers in the careers team. So on the screen, you can see that how you can follow us on Twitter, careers UWS. And also our email is careers@uws.ac.uk. And then we have also a Target Connect student vacancy website that many employers send their jobs and vacancies, and we check from this site and release it for our students as well. Okay, and we'll go to the next bit. So we have our careers and academic skills website. If you are not sure already, in your UWS student app or on the website, you should have this link to this website, and you can see the careers resources, academic skills resources. So academic skills would be your referencing, essay writing, etc. And they have a podcast called also We Blether as well. And careers resources, we will have CVs. And so, for example, 360, you can upload your CV and it can give you a percentage and give you feedback as well. And with the appointments and events, you can you can book appointments with careers advisors, 20 minutes for quick queries, and then 40 minutes for career guidance appointments as well. And also other events that just like this one, we have lots of other events coming up. Check them out. And this afternoon, we have also finding part-time jobs at 2 o'clock as well. So that's a very brief information. And what I'll do is I'll stop sharing. Okay, and Lynn share her screen and tell us about Enable Scotland. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, folks. Thanks very much for those of you that are joined us today. I really appreciate you coming along and listening to what we've got to say and what Enable Scotland can offer. My name's Lynn Campbell. I work in the recruitment team for Enable Scotland, and I've done this job for about 5 years now, so I'm quite a long-term member of staff with Enable Scotland. So my job is to promote Enable Scotland as an employer, and also to actually recruit new frontline personal assistant staff into the organisation for the North and South Lanarkshire area. But I also have colleagues who work across Glasgow, Renfrewshire, East Renfrewshire, Inverclyde, West Dunbartonshire, West Lothian, and so on as well. So we do recruit and have services that we provide to people with learning disabilities across the whole of the sort of central belt of Scotland and beyond. I'm here really today to sort of go through a presentation with you and talk to you a little bit about job opportunities with Enable Scotland. And then once I've gone through my presentation, I'm happy to answer any questions or anything that anyone may have. So we'll just go ahead and get started. Okay, so who are Enable Scotland and what do we do? So Enable Scotland are a charity run by our members, and we have been established, well, we were established in 1954 by the families of some children in the Glasgow area with learning disabilities, and that organisation has grown into Enable Scotland. So we support people who have learning disabilities and other disabilities as well to live a life that they choose. So we do have the charity part of the organisation that campaigns for people with learning disabilities and so on. We have the fundraising part of the organisation who raise funds to support families with people with learning disabilities. And then the largest part of our organisation, Enable Cares, is the part of the organisation that provides personalised support to people with learning disabilities and their families who live in communities across Scotland. Okay, so we obviously have like a kind of a mission and a vision. So obviously they're displayed on the screen there just now. We want every person who has a learning disability to have the choice and control to live the life that they choose. And our mission is to campaign with our members to improve the lives of people with learning disabilities. And we will work with our customers to create personalised services that reflect our values and enable customers to achieve their goals. So that's our mission and vision, and those are underpinned by our values. So those are the values of Enable Scotland. So that's just a little bit of background about Enable Scotland and who Enable Scotland are and what we do. We are one of a number of organisations who provide services to people with learning disabilities and other disabilities in their own homes. I think what makes us different, I think, from some care jobs is that we have a very much a personal assistant model, we call it, where we have staff teams who work directly with individuals, and they only work sort of with those individuals, so they get to know them and they provide a personalised service for them, and the individuals that we support can actually be involved as well in choosing the staff members that come to support them. So it is very, very, very person-centred, and that's maybe what make us different from some other care job roles. So we do call our staff, we don't call them care assistants, we call them personal assistants, because they are very much ingrained in that PA model where we, you know, you're working directly with that individual. Okay. So our services, we offer a wide range of support for adults who have learning disabilities, and our approach, as I've said, is very much to help people live the life that they choose. So the people we support will choose the people that they want to support them, and will always listen to what they have to say and what they want from their support. The job role can involve supporting people to live independently in their own homes, to get out and about in their community and take part in hobbies and interests, to maybe find meaningful work, to develop new skills, to support to go on holiday and just do the things that they want to do in their life. So in the financial year 2020-2021, we supported over 1,000 adults and children across the whole of Scotland. So what is a day in the life of our most important members of staff, our personal assistants? We actually have about roughly 2,500 staff across the whole of Scotland, and over 2,000 of those staff are personal assistants. So, you know, they are definitely, as we say, that you know the most important members of our team. So they have a really, really important role in the organisation, and every day they make a difference by supporting people with learning disabilities with any various activities. So, like I said, that can be learning and development and new skills. Something, you know, from something simple like making a cup of tea or coffee to you know, right up to learning how to drive or you know, taking part in a college course or whatever that may be. It just depends on the individual. We help individuals engage in their local community. We want to help individuals to develop friendships and relationships with people in their community. We focus on their goals and help people work towards them, fulfilling their potential, basically, improving our people we support's confidence and self-esteem, managing their anxieties, and carrying out maybe personal care tasks or tasks supporting the person in their own home with their housework, paying their bills, their food shopping, that sort of thing as well. So obviously we recognise that when we're recruiting people, what we're really looking for is values. You don't necessarily have to have experience in social care to come and work for Enable Scotland. We're just looking for people who have the right values and want to make a difference in people's lives. And we can train you on everything else. Okay, so you don't have to have experience to come and work for us. Our interview is very kind of values-based interview. So we do provide a lot of training to our staff. So if you were successful in a job role with ourselves, gaining a job role with ourselves, we would provide a full training programme, which is a kind of blended learning approach of e-learning, virtual workshops and classroom-based courses. The e-learning can be mandatory training, including things like safeguarding adults, health and safety, fire safety, data protection, COVID-19 hygiene and things like that as well, food hygiene and so on. We also then provide bespoke training to certain staff members depending on the needs of the person that you would be working for. So that could be, for example, if the person you were supporting has autism, then we would provide autism training. If the person you were supporting has epilepsy, we would provide epilepsy training. The person you're supporting has physical disabilities and is maybe in a wheelchair, we would provide moving and handling training for them as well. So there's a lot of bespoke training specifically around the needs of the individual as well. All of our staff get a full induction, which includes shadowing other experienced members of staff and regular supervisions with the line manager. And then obviously there's a lot of ongoing training and personal development as well. So all of the initial training that's provided, obviously that needs to get refreshed regularly. So that's refreshed, maybe on an annual or 2-yearly or 3-yearly basis, depending on the training course. And then we also provide our staff members with access to SVQ, well, SVQs are now called level 6 qualifications for an SVQ, what used to be called an SVQ2, it's now level 6 qualification in health and social care if that is required. Obviously, if you're coming to us already with a qualification, then that's fantastic, but we do provide access to qualifications for those of you who maybe didn't have a social care qualification. And then looking further forward down the line as well, there is very much career opportunities at Enable Scotland as well. So we do have a lot of our team facilitators and service managers who started working in the organisation as personal assistants and have moved up into team facilitator and service manager job roles. So we do provide a lot of leadership and management training as well for those people who are interested in that. So, there is definitely career opportunities within Enable Scotland, with us being quite a large organisation, and we're growing every day as well. So there is career opportunities there for anyone who's interested in that. Working in social care, some of you may very much be aware that staff who work in social care do need to register with the SSSC. So the SSSC stands for the Scottish Social Services Council, and it was set up under the Regulation of Care Scotland Act 2001 to regulate social service workers and promote education and training in social care. So all new members of staff who come on board with us as personal assistants do need to register with the SSSC within 6 months of taking up post. So Enable Scotland do provide you with information on how to do that and which parts of the register to register with and so on. But you do need to be responsible for your own registration and for paying an annual fee. The current annual fee for a personal assistant level job role is £25 per year. Has been that for a good number of years now, it hasn't changed. So that's what it is at the moment, and you do need to pay that annual fee. But within 5 years of registration, you will be required to complete, as I said, a health and social care qualification if you don't already have one, and we do support our staff to do this. So if there's anyone studying a course that isn't social care related, that doesn't mean that you can't come and work for us. You know, if it's something that you're interested in, it's like I say, we can provide access to qualifications if you decided that this was a career path that you wanted to follow in the future. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about the sort of benefits and pay rates and things like that. I know that's obviously a really important aspect. So for everyone, so we are a Scottish living wage employer. So we currently pay £10.80 per hour to all of our personal assistants. And as I said, because we're a Scottish living wage employer, obviously, you know, that's monitored and changed when necessary. We provide 32 days annual leave. That does include public holidays. Obviously, we do provide support, you know, 24/7, sometimes, you know, 365 days of the year. So we don't, our staff don't get public holidays as such, but it's added into your holiday entitlement, and that's the same for all staff across the whole organisation. So it works out as 32 days annual leave per year, prorated for part-time contracts. After 5 years service, you do get an additional week as well, so that goes up to 37 days annual leave prorated. As all organisations and all employers do now, we do obviously have to provide access to a pension scheme. So we do provide the workplace pension scheme to all of our staff who qualify for that under the conditions that they have for that. We have an employee assistance programme, which is a completely free service where you can that can signpoint you to anything that you may need. So, you know, so it can signpost you to things like financial advice, it can signpost you to counselling services, it can signpost you to anything like that at all. But it's a completely free service that's again available to all staff members, health and wellbeing guidance and so on as well. We are a recognised trade union is Unison, so obviously we you know, work closely with Unison there, and then we also have some other you know, organisational benefits there as well, like travel season ticket loans and cycle to work scheme and so on. What we do have, which is quite unique, is that we do have a very generous refer a friend bonus. So for any of our existing members of staff who recommend a new person who then is successful and joins the organisation, you can get up to £1,000 bonus for that, which is really generous refer a friend scheme as well. So that's, yeah, that's a kind of organisational benefits that we have, and our rates of pay and so on. So the recruitment process, I'll talk to you about that. All of our people who apply for jobs with Enable Scotland do need to apply via our recruitment website, and we have a recruitment website which is accessible just through our normal website as well, but I'll obviously give you those in a moment or two towards the end of my presentation. It's a really simple online process. If you have a CV, you can simply upload your CV and then just answer a few other questions. And your CV, the information from your CV is parsed into the application form. So your education history, your employment history, your personal details and so on are all parsed into the application form. So you don't have to fill them in again. It's just answering a few simple questions alongside uploading your CV. Then that comes through to myself or one of the other recruitment consultants in the team, and we usually obviously go through the applications, and we'd maybe initially give you a wee phone call and have a chat with you over the phone. If we're booking you in for an interview, we tend to mainly do our first stage interviews via Microsoft Teams video calls. So that's really helpful for you to join, you know, perhaps from your own home, and you don't have to necessarily travel to our office and so on. So that can be, you know, really simple and straightforward as well. If you really wanted a face-to-face interview, we can offer them. not that we can't offer them at all, but most people do choose to join, you know, via a Microsoft Teams video call. As I said, it's a very values-based interview process. Try and keep it as obviously as relaxed as we possibly can. We want to get the best out of our interviewees, so try and keep it as relaxed as we can, and go through our kind of values competency-based questions. And then from there, we may do a second stage if we were looking to match you to a certain individual and that individual wanted to meet you prior to you joining their team. Then we would do a very informal second stage where you would go along with one of our team facilitators and be introduced to a person and do almost like a kind of little meet and greet with an individual that we support. Then that all being well, we would offer you a contract subject to successful vetting, and we would do our vetting process, which is just simply getting a PVG through the PVG scheme and references and senior right to work, proof of right to work in the UK and so on. So we obviously try and get the vetting done as quickly as we possibly can. I think the average is probably, at the moment, it's probably around 3 weeks, I would say, to get the vetting process completed. It's obviously in everyone's best interest to get that done as quickly as we can, so that we can get you started with us. And then obviously that's when you'd start on the training process that I talked about earlier. So the e-learning, the classroom-based courses, the virtual online learning, and you know, your induction and shadow shifts. So that's the recruitment process. I will just go on to there you can see our website where you can apply for jobs, and you can get more information by emailing recruitment@enable.org.uk. My name, as I said, is Lynn Campbell, so if anybody wishes to contact me directly, you can do so as well. My email address is simply lynn.campbell@enable.org.uk. So I'm happy for people to contact me directly if they have any questions or queries or anything like that at all, or they can also do that as well by emailing recruitment@enable.org.uk. And as I said, our web page there for applying online is there too. I'm happy to open this up now to any questions or anything that anybody may have at all. I'm happy to do my best to answer them.
That's great. Thank you very much, Lynn. That was really informative. So I'm sure people will have questions. So what I'll do is I'll stop the recording. So people can unmute and ask questions themselves. Okay.
Fantastic.